Thank you for coming to this experiential grief workshop where when insight isn't enough, it's a body-based healing for grief and trauma. And Kolby and I are your facilitators. So my name's Leigh-Ann Larson. I'm the founder, CEO of Rising Up, which is an intensive outpatient program for grief and loss and trauma, also treating what you see, depression and anxiety that go alongside those things. And Kolby is our fabulous clinical director who has done an incredible job putting the program together and working with our patients and our staff. Kolby, would you like to add anything about what you've been doing with us?
Yeah. So hello everyone. I'm Kolby, licensed independent clinical social worker, and the clinical director here at Rising Up. And I am absolutely loving holding space and facilitating safe containers every day for our folks in IOP. Um, I love the mind, body, and spirit framework, and I'm very happy to be here and doing this very, very important work that is near and dear to my heart.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, Kolby and I have had many, many gifts along the way that we didn't expect to have in our own insight into the work that we do, into the grief work, into even putting a program startup right off the start. And so the biggest thing that we've learned really is nervous system regulation is experiential. It is not something you get out of a book. It is not something that someone can tell you about and then you can just, oh, great, now I'm regulated. And this workshop is also experiential. So we're actually going to be encouraging you to participate along with us in these techniques to help shift the grief. And you'll see in a moment how it really can show up and be stuck in your body. I think one important thing that I want to say is when we think about grief, we think about death, right? We've lost a loved one, but there are many, many griefs that we all experience in our lives. And if you were to think about like your top 10 griefs, it might not just be people that have passed. It could be a health thing. It could be a career not actualized. It could be, maybe something that you were really hoping that you were going to accomplish, but you don't have the skill set for it or the resources or right that sort of thing, relationship breakups. And so really take an expansive view of the word grief today, especially for this workshop, in case there isn't an acute person on your mind that's a grief or a loss. Think about one of the things that have happened along the way that you've had to really wrap your mind around and possibly change your identity, your roles, your goals, how you define being in the world. Okay. That's, I think, really important. So many of the people that we work with and many of the people on our team understand our grief and understand grief like intellectually, and yet we can still get stuck. And so today, Kolby and I are going to work with you to help feel some movement, maybe unstuck a few sticky places. And, again, it's not passive learning, it is experiential. We want you to participate at your own comfort level. If you need to shut the screen off, you can. Kolby and I will keep ours on and we'll be doing these experiences with you. If you do need to step away, take a breath, grab a drink of water, whatever you need to do, please take care of yourself. That's the number one thing that's important to us. Right, Kolby? That's the number one. Yeah. So, okay, let's ground right now. I know we did a breath to come into the room, but now let's make sure that we are in our seats and we're fully present and open to connecting with our body. We want to make a mind-body connection here, okay? So hands on your lap if that's comfortable, palms down, and you want your spine fairly erect. Um, you want to be supported and feeling stable where you're seated, and just allow yourself to take a breath in through the nose and just imagine it's going all the way down to your tailbone. So breathe in and then hold that breath at your tailbone. And when you exhale, just imagine you're exhaling through the bottom of your feet. Breathe that out. And now let's breathe in again. This time, right below your belly button, you may want to imagine a little orange light at the bottom of your belly button. Breathe into that. And again, when you exhale, let's exhale that out to the bottom of your feet. We are grounding in this space. Now imagine a little yellow light above the belly button. Just breathe into that spot. And again, let's exhale out through the bottom of the feet. Now this time we're going to breathe in through the nose again, down to our heart, and imagine a green light at the heart. When we exhale this time, we're going to exhale out through the top of our head. And now breathe into a blue light in your throat. And just exhale that out. Just imagine maybe you're going all the way up into the stars. Breathe in again through your mouth and exhale out through the top of your head. This time, imagine it lands at your forehead when you breathe in. Nice purple color, and breathe that out the top of your head. As you can see, we're creating a rainbow of light. Breathe in to your mouth, through your nose, sorry. Breathe out through the top of your head, a white light. Now we're going to do one final breath. We're going to imagine that we're breathing into a star out in the ethers. Breathe into that star through your body and breathe it all the way down through the bottom of your feet, connecting into the ground. Perhaps you can see yourself anchored. I like to imagine a rose heart quartz anchoring me. Breathe into that anchor. Exhale again, all the way up. Great. And just allow yourself to feel anchored and rooted and held, connecting the mind and the body. And Kolby is going to do our first exercise with us.
Essentially, sometimes insight is not enough. So grief and trauma are not just cognitive experiences. The nervous system holds on to unfinished emotional responses, survival energy, and attachment disruption. So you can understand why something happened, and your body can still feel like it's happening, even though there may be no current active threat. Um, so nervous system regulation is incredibly important. Um, Doing that first before we get into emotional processing. So not just talking about what happened, um, but understanding uh, the nervous system, providing basic education on the nervous system, and then while we emotionally process, we learn to integrate, feel it move rather than just naming it. And this is where a lot of folks can kind of get stuck, where they might be just in the loop of talking about what happened, and then talking about how they feel stuck and they just can't do the thing, or they just cannot move forward with their life, whatever that might look like for the person, right? Um, so that's why it's important that we treat grief and trauma so delicately, with that understanding of things kind of staying and lingering in the body. So rather than a top-down approach, just working with cognition, we integrate what's also going on, felt sense, what are you experiencing in your body right now?
Mhm. So important. So important. So when we do a grounding exercise, when we do some breath work, what we're doing is we're trying to connect to the body so that we can actually sense what we're actually feeling in it. And that's a really important skill to learn. Colby, tell us a little bit about Insight Timer and why you recommend that for people, because we need to get people connected on
Sure.
a regular. Yeah.
Um, Insight timer.
Yeah, you can use
Right.
that
Yeah.
as an example. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So Insight Timer is it's an app that exists. It is free to use. And on there, um there are plenty of meditation teachers as well as therapists who can contribute content. And so the great thing about that is there are breathwork practices that you can tune into. There are somatic, which basically just means of the body, somatic meditations. So if you're practicing or learning how to become more in tune with your body, to be open to doing some of these exercises and whatnot, Insight Timer is a great place to start because there are some
Hmm.
that are as short as 1 minute. There will not be
Hmm.
advertisements, which is something that can happen when you use something different like YouTube or whatever.
Hmm.
So Insight Timer is great because it's an app, it's free to use, it's accessible, and there are plenty of great opportunities on there. There are talks about the nervous system, there are breath work, meditation, visualization, guided imagery, tapping, which we'll learn more about later.
Hmm.
And yeah,
Wonderful.
yep.
Yeah. So we just wanted to give you that resource so that when you leave here today, if you're like, oh, I really enjoy doing that, but I feel like I need to practice a little more, it's not as intuitive for me to get connected, that you're able to do that. I think that's important. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, so right now we're going to invite in a gentle self-awareness, and try to think about something that is a grief for you or a loss for you. Nothing intense or particularly, thank you, Hannah. Hannah posted the Insight Timer link. Nothing that's going to particularly upset you, but just something that there's a little niggling feeling somewhere there in your body related to it. And I'm going to just lead you through a body scan for some of the more popular spots where we may actually feel a sticking point. Just so you know, some of the words that may help guide you to this is a heaviness or a tightened feeling in your chest or your heart. Could be a back pain or a hip pain, could just be an ache somewhere in the body. Or if you're a visual person, you might actually see as we're doing the body scan, oh, there was this like thing there that felt like a blob or something. So just be open and understand that it is subtle. It's not, probably waving a orange caution flag for you, right? Like someone on a tarmac at an airport, but yet it's there. Okay. And so let's go back into that grounded space now. Okay. Take a breath in. If you're comfortable, close your eyes. Colby and I are doing this alongside of you as well because we're going to be doing the exercises with you. And I just want you to imagine that white ball of light that's floating gently at the top of your head. Just see a ball of light, and it might even be touching the top of your head to the point where you can feel a little buzziness or just something there. And we're going to ask that you imagine this is like a spotlight that you're bringing into your body, and you're looking for, where am I holding some grief? Where am I holding some loss? And so we're going to come to the forehead. Check to see, is there stress or tension there in the temples? Perhaps there's some grief there. Breathe into that, and as you exhale, bring that over your face, nose, lips, teeth, tongue, jaw, all the places into your throat, and just fill your throat with that light. Am I holding something there that's a type of grief or a loss? Is there a block or a heaviness? And bring that to your shoulders. That light separates to both shoulders, down to your elbows and your wrists, to the palms of your hands, your fingers. And bring that light back up to the back of your neck. How's your neck and your shoulders? Pull that light down into your spine, each and every vertebrae, and around your hips, into all of your torso, your reproductive system, GI system, endocrine system. Everything is just infused with this light as this searching for something that you might be holding in your body that feels a little stuck. Bring that light from your hips down to your knees. This is a spot for moving forward down to your ankles, the tops of your feet, into your toes and the spaces in between, the bottom of your feet, calves, back of the knees, back of the thighs, buttocks. So just allow yourself to feel like you're in this big white light right now, just shining a light on the grief, and just look at your body as if it's a projected image in front of you, a light body. Where are you holding something that feels stuck? I know for me, I can actually see visually the spleen area seems to be a spot where I'm holding something. See if everyone can just find a spot in their body. If you don't see anything visually, where do you feel just a little different in your energy? Could be a lightness, could be a heaviness, could be a buzzing, could be an empty feeling, could be a little bit of a pain or an ache. And just breathe into that space. If you can't find one, ask. Ask your inner knowing, your wise mind. Give me a body part or an organ or a joint that is holding some stuck energy around the grief and loss. And just trust whatever you get. If intuitively you feel like you're being pulled to an area, that's wonderful. That's your spot we're going to work on today. And this really is where this work lives. This energy psychology work lives in the energy body. I don't actually believe there's anything stuck in my spleen. It's energy. It's the energy of grief. It's the energy of loss that I'm going to be working through today with you. And, the body is a bridge. The meditation is the bridge to the body that helps us shift grief with some of these tools that we're going to be using. So keep in mind what you came up with because we're going to be using that. Okay. If for whatever reason you've got absolutely nothing, we will go with just imagining in your mind's eye a person that you've lost or the moment of an event that happened that changed things for you as a grief or a loss. Okay. All right, Colby is up next with some EFT for us.
All right. So we are going to practice sending some calming signals to the nervous system while we stay connected to the feeling that you just identified, feeling or sensation. So we're going to set up a phrase. Even though I feel whatever emotion or sensation came up for you. So even though I feel anxiety, for example, I'm open to softening and allowing my body to settle. So even though I feel
Hmm. So for me, Colby, then I would say, like, even though I feel stuck in my spleen,
mm,
grief stuck in my spleen, that's a good thing to say, right? That would work. Okay.
yeah, so whatever you've identified,
Hmm.
um, and maybe I'll just put that in the chat really quickly, just so if people need to reflect on that. Even though I feel this sensation or
Hmm.
emotion, I'm open to softening and allowing my body to settle. And
Hmm.
so, what we're going to do, I will tell you where to tap, and we're going to use two hands if that feels good for you.
Hmm.
Two is better because then it is bilateral stimulation. And so, we will use the phrase and we'll tap through the different points. So we're going to start on the side of our hand. This is the karate chop point. You can do it like this. Even though I feel, I'm open to softening and allowing my body to settle. And then we'll move to the eyebrow. Even though I feel, I'm open to softening and allowing my body to settle. This feeling in my body, side of the eye, under the eye, this heaviness, under the nose, part of me holding this, chin. I don't have to force it away. Collarbone. Maybe I can let it shift just a little. Under the arm, letting my body know I'm safe right now. Top of the head, this feeling in my body. Eyebrow, this heaviness. Side of the eye, even though I feel this, I'm open to softening and allowing my body to settle. Oh, under the eye. Sorry, guys. This feeling in my body. Under the nose, this heaviness. Chin. I don't have to force it away. Collarbone. Maybe I can let it shift just a little. Under the arms, letting my body know I'm safe right now. Do that one more time. Let's go back to the side of the hand. Even though I feel this, I'm open to softening and allowing my body to settle. Top of the head. This feeling in my body, this heaviness, part of me holding this. eyebrow. I don't have to force it away. Maybe I can let it shift just a little. Side of the eye, letting my body know I'm safe right now. Under the nose, this feeling in my body, this heaviness, chin, part of me holding this. I don't have to force it away. Collarbone, maybe I can let it shift just a little, even slightly. Under the arms, letting my body know I'm safe right now. Stop tapping when you're ready. We'll take a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhale, sigh it out if that feels good. And
Nice.
just take note of how you feel.
I love tapping so much. I always say when I have a few sessions in a row where I'm tapping, I am like out in the ethers by the end of the day. Tapping's just lovely. I actually did feel a shift already in this area, which I think is so cool. So I love that. Okay. Let's see how are we doing for time? We have a couple of minutes if someone wants to talk about their experience with the tapping before we go to the next one, which is an EMDR informed practice. No, we're good. Okay. So it's very important to let you know this is not full EMDR therapy. It's a simple bilateral stimulation practice, which we can use safely on our own. And it helps bring balance, is how I like to use the word, between the right and the left hemispheres of the brain. So on the right hemisphere of the brain, we're going to get a lot of chemistry that can make the house feel like it's on fire, the adrenaline and the cortisol and all that. And then the left hemisphere of the brain, we have our executive functioning, our timekeeper, our confidence, our competence, So, we've heard the word flashback, like, oh, I think about it and it feels like it was yesterday. That's because we haven't engaged that left hemisphere of the brain. So by doing bilateral stimulation, we are essentially helping to redistribute the chemistry, I think is a good way of putting it, right? So triggering events just won't um, feel as big, as on fire, and they'll be calmer. So you still have all your memories. You just won't have the level of emotion accompanying those more challenging or difficult memories. Likewise, you can also do it for pain in the body, discomfort that you're feeling, habits that you're trying to shift. It's really wonderful. So, today, we're talking about grief and loss. We did that initial body scan to see if we're holding it somewhere in the body. So, my suggestion would be to first try and focus on that. So, I will be thinking about the spleen and feeling a little stuck there around grief. If you have not really been able to identify a spot related to grief, just kind of check your body out right now. Do you have a headache? Do you have a stiff neck? Is your low back kind of uncomfortable? Because those could be tip-offs to either spaces that you're holding grief in, or you just have something going on that we can perhaps make a little bit better with this EMDR segment. Okay, so with that said, there's two ways that are good to do the bilateral stimulation on yourself. One is the good old-fashioned butterfly hug, which a lot of us love because it feels so good to just hug yourself and take care of yourself and say, I am here for me, right? If this is uncomfortable for you for whatever reason, you can just tap right, left on your thighs. And that also works very well. Now, let's say there's a person who cannot use one or both of their arms, which could happen. Um, we can also just tap our feet. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Let's say we're in a meeting and we have closed toe shoes on, which is really good because we're nervous. We can just tap our toes inside of our shoes. Right, left, right, left, right. It's bilateral stimulation. When you lift up the tap that left foot, you're requiring the right side of the brain to work. When you do the same thing on the right side, you're requiring the left. So that's a little bit of the mechanics. You choose how you want to do it. I'm going to do butterfly taps. So we have our butterfly taps. We can tap on our thighs. We can tap our feet. And let's just take a nice breath in and allow yourself to go back to the feeling that you had, the sensation that you had during body scan, or the image that you conjured up as it was related to grief and loss. Or if you're having pain in your body right now that you want to shift, just go back to that feeling. Maybe think about where you were during the scan on a 1 to 10 versus how you were after tapping. I know I was probably like at a 7 and I'm probably like at a 3 right now. Just kind of think about it. So I'm going to think about that like level 3, spleen, grief, stuckness as I tap. I'm not going to try to change it. I'm not going to try to figure out how this is affecting my brain or what my brain is doing. I'm just going to enjoy this feeling. And we're just going to take a moment, focusing on the feeling or that part of your body, that pain. Your arms get tired, switch positions. When you go into an EMDR session, it's like this. There's not a lot of talking going on. There's bilateral stimulation and silence, and you're just letting your brain do its thing. Just take a few more seconds here. It's also important to remember to breathe. And also when we're doing energy work to drink lots of water. When you're ready, you can stop tapping. Put your hands on your thighs, maybe take a breath in and exhale. Think about how your body is feeling. Beautiful. I was looking forward to this talk today for this very feeling that I'm having right now in my body. Because when you do this work, it really does cause a shift in your nervous system. It's really lovely. Okay, Kolby, I think you are up.
Yeah, so with that being said, you might want to check in with yourself. What's different? Even 5%. Noticing how your breath has maybe shifted from the beginning to where we are now.
I can honestly say my side feels absolutely fabulous.
Mm,
I feel like I just got a retooling. It's
mm,
wonderful. Yeah.
yeah. I feel a lot more centered than I did when I popped on because I was
Mm-hmm.
coming from one place to another. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
much more in my body now. I feel much more aware of what's going on my body, and I feel more calm.
I think we were going to close with just a short meditation because you, my dear, are the diva of all meditation leaders. And I will tell you that Kolby is on Insight Timer. What do you have? 3 meditations now on
Four.
Insight Time? My bad. I
That's
took a
okay.
nap. I took a nap. Yeah, so so Colby's a fabulous meditation leader. So I thought it would be excellent to go ahead and do one more mindfulness and integration tool, just like a 4 or 5 minute
Yeah,
meditation. Great.
yeah, let's do it. All right. So allow yourself to settle into a comfortable position and just give yourself a minute to arrive there. Let's start by taking a slow breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Again, inhaling through the nose and a long exhale out. And let your breathing return to a natural rhythm. Bring your attention to the feeling of your body being supported, the chair beneath you, your feet on the ground. Scanning for any areas of tension, and without forcing anything, just inviting a little softening there. Bringing your awareness to your breath again, just feeling the inhale and the exhale. If your mind wanders, that's okay. Just gently guide it back to the breath. Nothing to fix, nothing to change. Just witnessing this moment here and now as it is. Maybe you place your hands on your heart if that feels good for you. And just taking a moment to extend some gratitude to yourself for showing up today, allowing yourself to have been maybe introduced to something new, becoming more aware of the body and the breath, and taking one more slow, steady breath in and a long cleansing breath out. And when you're ready, gently bringing your awareness back into the body and into the room around you, wiggling your fingers or toes, and opening your eyes and returning to the room that you're in.
Thank you, Kolby.
Thank you.
So today we talked about how healing does not happen just through understanding. It also happens through experience. And these tools are simple, but they're very, very powerful. And the small shifts that happen when you do this work really do build up over time. They really do. I've been on this journey since 2000. And it is fair to say that people who knew me from high school do not even recognize me now. My energy was all over the place. I was just a super ramped up, going in a million different directions person. I still may be going in a lot of different directions, but they're always, for the most part, regulated. Would you say that's fair to say, Colby?
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't an overnight thing for me. It's just slowly over time, exposing myself to Reiki was probably the first thing, and meditation, and then becoming an MBSR, mindfulness-based stress reduction meditation teacher, like all of those things. Then the EMDR and the EFT, and it slowly builds over time, but it really allows you to heal these emotional things, psychological things, the traumas. I personally believe that everybody has trauma. This is a traumatic world that we're living in. And if something doesn't traumatize you, I would say, what is wrong with you? Like, there has got to be some trauma living in that body somewhere. And these tools, and grief, of course, offers the biggest opportunities for trauma, I believe. These tools are really helpful. So I hope that you check out Insight Timer and look for Colby, and also continue exploring these tools with providers who do emotional freedom technique or EMDR or trauma informed yoga is another wonderful tool. I did an Eventbrite where I just did body movement to relieve grief. We should probably reprieve that and put that on the rising up. And so Colby and I are here at an intensive outpatient program for grief, loss, trauma, depression, anxiety for adults. It's online, but you can come to the Buzzards Bay office if you want to do that. You can refer friends, family, clients, whoever is struggling and needs a few hours a day, a few days a week, these types of practices in a group cohort with additional support for individual therapy, family therapy, and medication evaluation. That's what we're here for. That's what we're all about. And we're really happy that on a monthly basis, we can come on and talk to everybody about some of these tools that we're using to really help improve people's lives and what it feels like to live in their bodies, right? Colby, and would you add anything, Colby, or what would you say?
We love to talk to people about the program as well. So if you do have questions or if you'd like to know more, we're happy to talk to people. So please feel free to reach out to us
Mm-hmm.
if you are
Mm-hmm.
curious, or
Yeah.
would like to know more.
Yep. And so there's the intake at risingup-iop.com, or you can go and fill out the contact form on the website. The phone number is on the website as well. So lots of ways to reach us. Thank you so much for coming. So wonderful to see you.